If your neighbors are talking, you need to do the walking and do that 360 walk around your home and keep your home buttoned up in 2023.
This is the Elegant Homes Podcast with your home improvement expert, Don Riley. Don gives you weekly tips on the biggest investment you'll ever make, your home. Plus, Don talks to industry's leading professionals to make your home elegant. The Elegant Homes Podcast with Don Riley is powered by Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky.
Welcome back to another episode of Elegant Homes. I am your host, Don Riley, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time. You know, it is slowly slipping into the spring area here in springtime. We're getting ready to pop out of winter. And, it's funny because I woke up this morning, I looked outside and I was like, man, the sun's out finally. It's been so gloomy the last 5 to 6, 7 days. But you know what? It's nice when the sun comes out. I think everybody gets energized. They get ready for, all these projects. People start walking around their homes when it gets a little warmer outside. And today we're going to talk about the summer walk around. And I love the summer walk around. And I know you hear us talk about this a lot on the Elegant Home Podcast. But these are some things that you can really do to really make sure that your home is prepared for those projects in 2023. And it's nice just to come outside, whether it's in the morning. I like to take my morning coffee and just kind of walk around the house and look inside the house, make sure, ceilings look good, no leaks anywhere. And then I just open the front door, pop myself outside, take your coffee out there, just kind of walk around, look at the house. Look at your gutters, look at your soffit, look at your fascia, look at the front porch. It's funny, I do this every year on my home, and I woke up this morning, just kind of did a 360 on the house and just kind of walked around, make sure no siding or anything was pulled loose, and, make sure all my window trim is nice and, still intact, because we've had some strong winds here lately, so some of this stuff can pull siding away, can pull gutters away. We've had so many calls this past week on gutter replacement where gutters have fallen off the house. We just had one we did last Tuesday, ripped this guy's gutter off the strong winds that came along. So we went down, the guys went down, it was raining. We cut the gutter in half, took half of it down so it wasn't smacking against the house. And then, of course, went back this week and actually took the whole gutter down and ordered a new gutter. We put a 6-inch hidden hanger gutter up, took the old one down, put that up, new downspouts 3x4, tied everything into the drainage system. Guy was super, super happy, and now he wants us to do another project. So the nice thing is these walk-arounds are so crucial to your home because if you don't go look at the home, you don't do the walk-around, you're never going to know if you got an issue. Sometimes people have foundational problems, window problems, cracked windows. So just do yourself a favor. Do that 360. I call it 360 walk around. And we always do that as the spring is approaching upon us because now everything's thawing out. As we get into spring, the ice is melting, the snow's melting. You're standing out on the front porch. You hear those little drips from the ice still in the gutters or, on the side of the house. And just do a 360 walk around and make sure everything is nice and buttoned up. And then that's going to save you a lot of money down the road. So if you do preventative maintenance, that's just going to actually help you in the long run and save yourself some money because if you do find something that's rotted or starting to rot, you can prevent it by, staining it or painting it. You can put kills on certain things and prevent that rot from getting worse. Or you can wrap it, do some coil stock, do some metal. So these are things that are really going to help you make those mental notes to just stop these things. One of the things I love to talk about is decks because most people don't really pay much attention to the deck. They come out, they grill on it, they walk around, and then they go back in the house. Check your footing of your deck. Go down and look at the footing, look at the boards. Make sure take you a screwdriver, run them down in the boards. Make sure everything's nice and thick and still solid because sometimes even the boards are cracked, got rips in them. You don't realize it, and you can fall through the deck. So we just want to keep you safe this summer. So this is the Elegant Home Podcast. I am your host, Don Riley, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Are you looking for that new truck, maybe that new Silverado, or maybe even that new Trail Boss? I'm telling you, those new Trail Boss look really good. You got to stop out and see my good friend Rob Marshall at Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky. Their team is bar none the best. I've bought all my vehicles for the Elegant Home podcast right there, and I'm telling you, these guys get it done. Have you looked at their social media lately? They are shipping vehicles out the door left and right, and I'm telling you, their vehicles are top notch. I love Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky, and I'll tell you why. They treat me and the Elegant Home podcast like family. So stop out and see Rob and the gang, and they'll take care of you. And make sure you tell them that Don Riley, and I'm going to say it again, Don Riley from the Elegant Home podcast sent you and your family to Rob Marshall Chevrolet in Carrollton, Kentucky.
The Marshall Auto Group has grown into one of the largest dealer groups in the state of Kentucky, and we're right in your backyard. With locations in Dry Ridge, Crittenden, and Florence, we're convenient and easy to get to. Plus, we have hundreds of new and used vehicles priced to make it worth your drive. We're a family-run business, making us easy to deal with. Come see us. Marshall Dry Ridge Toyota, Marshall Chrysler Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Marshall Motors of Florence, and Marshall Power Sports. The Marshall Auto Group, easy to get to, easy to deal with.
Welcome back to Elegant Homes. I'm your host, Don Riley, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time. We just took a short break there. Today, we're talking all about the 360 walk around. And if you haven't heard about the 360 walk around, you need to know about it because it's super, super important to you and your family and your home. Your biggest and largest investment is your home. And we want to make sure that you keep everything up to date on the home and make sure that your home stays intact and that you don't have any issues or have any areas that could cause, air infiltration or water to come inside the home and cause damage. So that 360 walk around, as we talked about, is so vital to you in your investment. And like I said, your home is your biggest investment, and we want to make sure we keep that protected. So here at the Elegant Home Podcast, we're always showing you ways to do that. So you got to make sure you tune in. You can find us on Spotify. You find us on iHeartRadio. Also, we're on YouTube, and we also just started our brand new TikTok. Go to TikTok. You'll see all of our videos on there, and like. We need you to like our page. We are growing fast, and people are starting to pay attention. So we ask that all of you subscribe and make sure you watch the Elegant Home Podcast, and we appreciate your participation in our show. But also, I want to tell this people out there that the 360 walk around is so vital because, I do it every year on my home, every home that I've ever owned. I make sure I do that 360 walk around. Maybe that's the carpenter in me. Maybe that's the home improvement guy in me. But I want to teach all of you to do that 360 walk around at least once a year. Make sure everything's nice and solid. It's funny, I tell my neighbors about the 360 walk around. They're like, I don't walk around my house, Well, and I realize that, Bob, because your siding's hanging from the back of the house, So, and I'm the guy they always call to fix it, right? So my neighbors don't really do the 360 walk around. Some of them do, but now we got those ones that have that pride and ownership in the home. But, we have some that, really don't get out and look. They hire guys like me to do that. So, but do yourself a favor. It takes 20 minutes. Walk around your house, 360, man, and just keep an eye on everything. It's funny. Last year I did that, and I noticed the top of my soffit where my actual fascia meets the butt of the roof was coming out. And it needed a couple nails in it. And if I wouldn't have got up there, or in someone else's case, hired someone to get up there and put a couple nails in that wind would have grabbed that and ripped that off. And guess what? That would have probably cost me $300 or $400. So I saved myself some money just by using 2 penny nails and driving that fascia board back in there. And that saved me from the wind grabbing that and costing myself some money. Because a roll of that coil stock's expensive. You're talking probably a couple $100, and then you got to pay a guy to get up there and bend the metal and put it up there and nail it in. So it's a lot of work. Just little things like that you need to know, and the 360 can save you money. And the other thing too, like we were talking earlier about decks, go out there and check that deck out. A lot of people forget about the deck. They think, oh, it's wood, it's solid, no problem. Check the deck out, because the deck is a vital part of your home. And if you got a deck, keep an eye on it, because sometimes, bolts come undone from the ledger boards. Your post could be moving. There's a lot of things that can happen on a deck. So you want to pay attention to that. I always go to the edge of the deck and look down all the 6x6s or all the 4x4s and make sure everything's nice in alignment. If you see a board that's a little kicked out or something, you got some issues. So you call a professional or have someone in the family, if they know what they're doing, come by and check it out for you. Or you give Elegant Home Exterior a call. There you go. But actually, we'd love to fill you in if you got any questions, or if you have any projects that you're talking about doing the 360. Maybe you go outside and you find a board hanging from your deck, or all these things. Reach out to us. Reach out. Go on TikTok. Just send us a message. Go on Instagram. All these places that we have social media, Facebook, and if you want, ask us. Send us a question. We'll be more than happy to answer it for you. So, like I said, once again, the 360 walk around is so vital to you and your home. So I hope that you and the family do the 360 walk around here in 2023 and keep your home elegant. I'm Don Riley, where we make every home elegant, one home at a time, and we'll see you next time.